morning, ma'am. This is the reporter of Group 6. It's all about the cross-cultural management. So we have here objective. First is to identify key dimensions of cultural differences and their influence on business practice, decision-making, and organizational structures. Second is to analyze how cultural values, beliefs, and norms impact consumer behavior, marketing strategies, and product adaptation in international markets. Third is to identify various negotiation styles across cultures and develop strategies for successful across-culture negotiation outcomes. Fourth is to identify leadership styles that are effective in cross-cultural settings. Last, to understand the importance of culture intelligence in global leadership and management. What is cross-cultural management? Cross-cultural management is the art of recognizing, comprehending, and navigating culture differences within the business world. It requires an in-depth exploration of the complex network of beliefs, values, behavioral norms, communication styles, and business customs across different cultures. The managerial approaches in cultural management will change to suit different settings. Cross-cultural management is to understanding and adapting cultural differences in business world. By doing this, they can build stronger relationship, avoid misunderstandings, and improve teamwork in multiple cultural environments. Since every culture has its own way of working and interacting, managers must adapt their leadership and communication approaches to fit different cultural contexts, ensuring that their management style is effective and respectful in each setting. Understanding cultural differences and their impact on business. Understanding cultural differences is essential in today's interconnected business world because they affect how people communicate, negotiate, manage, and work together. Different cultures have unique attitudes toward authority, teamwork, time, and decision making, which can influence business success and employee relationship. By using this framework, businesses can better adapt their strategies and management practice to suit diverse cultural contexts.
Here are the theory of Hofstede that outline 6 key dimensions of national cultures. Number 1, Power Distance Index. Example of this is in a country with high PDI like the Philippines, students often show strong respect for the teachers. If a teacher makes a statement, even if students think it might be wrong, they usually stay quiet rather than challenge it. The teacher is seen as the unquestioned authority. Student expects instructions and decisions to come from the teacher, not through group discussion. Number 2 is individualism versus collectivism. Example of this, a student may choose a career that aligns with family expectations or benefits the community, even if it's not their personal dream. The emphasis is on group harmony and loyalty, so the students prioritize the well-being of the family or group over individual preference. Number 3 is the masculinity versus femininity. Example, in a masculine culture, employees may be motivated by higher pay, recognition, and opportunities for advancement. There might be a larger gender wage gap and fewer women in management roles. A masculine society might have more distinct gender roles where boys are expected to be tough and not cry, and girls thought to be modest and nurturing. In a feminine culture, the focus is on a good work-life balance, cooperation, cooperation, and job security with a smaller gender wage gap and more women in leadership. A feminine society has more fluid gender roles where both men and women are expected to be the modest and concerned with the quality of life. Number 4, uncertainty avoidance. Example, in a country with high uncertainty avoidance, traffic laws might be incredibly detailed and perspective, with strict adherence to speed limit, designated lanes, and numerous traffic signs for every conceivable scenario. There might be frequent police checks and severe penalties for minor infractions, aiming to minimize ambiguity and ensure predictable behavior on the roads. Number 5, long-term orientation versus short-term orientation. Example for long-term orientation, the family encouraged to study hard, even sacrificing leisure time, because education is seen as the key to future success. Parents also save a significant portion of their income, sometimes saving modestly to ensure their children can afford university or to prepare retirement. For short-term example naman is family values traditions and immediate enjoyment. Celebrations, festivals, and family gatherings are prioritized. Even if it means spending saving, education is important, but the emphasis is often on maintaining cultural practices and enjoying life in the present. Number 6, indulgence versus restraint. For the example of indulgence, in the Philippines, people openly celebrate life with festivals, parties, and family gatherings. Even if money is tight, families will prioritize enjoyment like going on for karaoke, eating at the restaurants, or hosting festivals. While sa restraint naman, example is in the China, social norms emphasize discipline, duty, and self-control. Leisure activities are less frequent and people may feel guilty about spending too much time or money on enjoyment.
So, cross-cultural communication, negotiation. So, isa na siya ka indispensable skills like contemporary global landscape where increased interconnectedness and international trade and diverse workforces. So, kaya siya is nag-necessitate ni siya through effectiveness and across like cultural boundaries. And kaya siya it delves to theoretical underpinnings like practical applications, challenges, and strategic approaches. So, ang karon siya is vital for successful cultural. Tas need po na siya is ang main sin is communication and negotiation. Nag-aims na siya sa provided comprehensive and framework. Kasi kung wala kang comprehensive and framework, paano kayo magkakasundo sa iba't ibang kultura kung sa comprehensive pa lang at framework hindi. dili balance. So kailangan jud og cross-cultural communication and negotiation. So amon siya naga-aim sa provide and comprehensive framework for navigating split cities. Naga-inherit po di siya sa interactions between individual and varied cultural backgrounds. So nag-emphasize na siya sa analytical depth and practical relevance. Buga isa na siya ka komunikasyon na like pandaigdigan kung asa nagataas ang pagkapari-pariha like international or kalakalan or kaiba man ng workers o magawa basta may kailangan or magpapare-pareha lang magkasinabot lang or dapat magkasinabot ang kultura, comprehensive og framework. So kailangan jud ang cross-cultural communication there sa negotiation indispensable skills. So kailangan ang skills, comprehensive framework and navigating splitties to inherit interaction. So the second part is understanding customs, trials and taboos and helps about fax pass and improves negotiation efficiency. So many aning fax pass is misunderstanding or kailangan or miscommunication sa both sides sa panig. To improve negotiation efficiency, kailangan gid magkaintindihan ang both side when it comes to negotiation para dili sila mag-conflict through both negotiators. And negotiations should determine to appropriate greetings. So kailangan gid well respect gapon when it comes sa cultural kung ano nakasanayan sa both side in terms of negotiators or business. So whether to expect lengthy small talk or direct business discussion. So kailangan gid mag small talk or direct business discussion when it comes whether to expect lengthy small or dako ba na nga negotiation. Dapat magkaintindihan gid kung kailangan. So the first is determine of this is consider the individual. O kailangan nato iwasan ang mga kultura na mga stereotype or kailangan nato tanawon pud ang bawat negotiator na kailangan isa ka kumbaga siya multi-affected ba siya or individual or nagatuon na siya sa kabilang sa panig ng personal. So dili lang about sa cultural ni or pagkilala sa kabilang panig. Kailangan gid summarize ang isa ka sa lugar or kailangan nato i-determine kung ano ba ang kanilang kultura or pasok ba ito sa atin or effectiveness and sa kabilang panig o personal. So baga isang tabi sa nato ang mga kaalaman sa kultura kung isang tabi sa nato mga kaalaman sa kultura or kailangan ba siya fit para sa ato ay naiban naibang kultura nga dili fit para sa ato and dili fit para sa mga negotiators. So kailangan po mamili og tarong na negotiator. Pero at the same time narigaw ko ng respect gapon. So hanggang sa kailangan nato maunawaan ang matiyak na pag-uugali or kailangan nato maunawaan ang mga ang mga it determines po sa mga ugali kung anong sabay lang ginadala sa kultura o sa kailangan na nakalaman. O baga kailangan po sa kultura ang multi-affected na individual na magtuon sa ila. O sa consider the individual niya and sa stereotype ng tignan na. So baga kailangan in short kailangan mo lang tawon ang cultural negotiation kung magkaintindihan ba mo duha as a negotiators and businessman or when it comes sa cultural man or kuan mga private sectors, or kailangan ba ng kuan ng negotiation, dapat gid magkaintindihan. So ang ibang dra gawas na sa kultura, so kari siya consider the individual. So sa second part is build bridges cultural, build bridges across cultural. So kailangan natutukoyin ang similarities when it comes sa kultura, pagkakahubig. Like sa ato ilig tag rice sa Philippines, ilig tag rice. So ibang bansa ilig sa mga bansa na ilig rice, Vietnam, Indo, mana sila mga hilig rice. So when it comes sa rice export and import, so kita ga kuha tag rice sa ila, kaya sila ga produce pud sila sang rice. Yung kita may ato man kita na rice, pero nagaangkat gapon ta sang rice gapon. So amo to, so kultura o higit pa. So may mga po example po sila ang sa kultura, like sa ibang panig dapat magkaintindihan jud, or kailangan jud isabot nga kailangan makatulad, or baga kailangan po same sila karanasan or sa kultura sini. So ang layunin sini ay baga pinagsamang pinagmulan, like pamilyar or same ba sa sitwasyon or interest, like mga kaugalian, same ba kaugalian ng kultura, bisag kuan sila dili sila indifferent sila, but when it comes sa kultura at the same time may pagka-similarities sila. So kailangan po ni maaari ito makatulong sa tulay upang agwat sa agwat na kultura, baga isa na siya katulay para magkaintindihan ang duha ka culture or sa agwat na kultura. Bisag agwat ilang kultura, kailangan gid ma-familiarize ang kanilang kaugalian, na dako po ni siya tabang when it comes sa kultura. Kay syempre di na ka malisdan, di na mag-suffer ang negotiators. Kay syempre when it comes sa kultura, this side kailangan po nila mag-adjust, pero naman same baga na mga similarities naman nga culture. So gamay na lang ilang i-adjust when it comes to ni. So ano to sa build bridges across cultural. So in short sini tukuyin ang magkakatulad na culture, at kailangan po or sa higit pa na kultura. Ano na to, similarities between both culture. Other parties culture. So consider the broader context. So kailangan na to maglantaw beyond obvious, like cultural differences and cultural consider as and political considering that, and legal changes. So ang community interest, business norms ay kailangan sang foreign country, kailangan siya wider and perspective to incorporate critical concern and increase the perspective to incorporate critical and concern para sa ma-increase ang changes o lasting agreement. So kailangan gid ang agreement para ma-increase ang changes. So kaya perspective to incorporate critical concern. So when it comes sa consider political and legal changes sa broader context when it comes sa different parties. Reduce stress. High stress can case negotiators rely on stereotypes. So garay lang sa stereotypes. So if conflict gid imong emon pag negotiate sa negotiators, so di good capable ang negotiator nga mag-handle sina when it comes sa high stress. So taking frequent breaks for ensuring na sufficient ang negotiation, so para matagaan sila some time, can mitigate this elation. So medically trusted in third party can also help. So kailangan gid kan ka prepare when it comes sa unresolved indifference and conflicts. So kailangan mentally, physically handa ka when it comes sa negotiations. Kaya syempre sample business na imong ginakuan, nakasalalay sina kultura ang nakasalalay. So kailangan good mentally, physically prepare ka. And ang stress normal na pero kailangan gid i-overcome. So para mahatag ng mga 1% insufficient negotiation. So amo ni siya ang ang other parties culture. So consider broader context. In short, kailangan nimo maging frequent and efficient para increase changes and lasting agreement. Ano ta ang consider the broader context and reduce stress. Siyempre and ensure sini kailangan mo mentally, physically and emotionally prepared for both cultural and negotiations when it comes to business or nakasalalay mo cultural. So overcoming potential conflicts. So acknowledge cultural differences. Kailangan mo i-acknowledge ang different cultural. So kailangan gid i-acknowledge nimo. Dapat ma-recognize nimo ang kultura and different and type of differences can lead to misunderstanding. Dapat kailangan nimo siya ma-overcome para ma-handle nimo siya ito misunderstanding to understanding and avoid conflicts avoid conflicts. So the second part is active listening. So kailangan nimo mag-practice sa listening o sa negotiators, labi na karang different culture. So active listening to understand other parties perspective. So ano ang kanilang perspective, layunin nila sa karang culture. So need mo ma-understand ang ilang ilang side. So syempre sa imo po nga side, dapat ma-understand po nila. That's why ginatawag ng overcome. Kailangan mo ma-overcome ang isa't isa when it comes to negotiation. Ay kailangan niyo masabtan. So avoid stereotypes to refrain from making assumptions based on cultural generalizations. So kailangan i-abot ng stereotypes. So making assumptions, so kailangan gid so use and statements. Baga express na may mong concerns. Baga na po kayo mga suggestion. So concern to confrontation manner. So kailangan gid both side mag-adjust may sa negotiation. Cultural ba na mentally sa kung ano gid ba ang capable. So use statements. Kailangan mo mag-statements and confrontation. So seek meditation. Last part ni seek meditation. So use cultural mediator to bridge gaps and resolve conflicts. So kailangan nyo magbutang ka sang gaps and cultural mediator to avoid resolve conflicts. So resolve conflicts is kailangan nimo ma-resolve resolve conflicts is kailangan nimo ma-identify kung ano ang mga na weakness or strengths sa negotiation mo or sa kultura, kung ano ba pinagkaibahan. So So by this understanding and respecting cultural differences. So may mga kanda tong graph na nakabutang is kaan siya or nakabutang to 5 to 1 is kailangan gid ma-identify tong graphs is ma-overcome to difficulty into hard. So to consider that it looks beyond obvious to cultural differences to consider incorporate practical concern and increase changes for lasting agreement. So negotiation can time mitigate and unleashing the mentally trusted in party can also help resolve indifference and conflicts. Sama na to, I'm JJ Kagabion reporting for this. Thank you po.
Good day everyone! So today, I'll be discussing leadership and management in a global context. In our interconnected world, leaders and managers must learn how to work with people from different countries, cultures, and time zones. Global leaders means influencing and guiding diverse individuals toward shared goals while managing country, culture, communication, and resources effectively. Number 1 is leadership and management in a global context. In today's world, everything is becoming more interconnected because of globalization. This means that countries, business, and people are now linked through technology, trade, and communication. So, leadership and management in a global context refers to how leaders handle and manage people from different countries, culture, and time zone. Example, a company like Google or Coca-Cola has employees from different parts of the world, some in Asia, other in Europe, or America. A global leader needs to understand cultural differences, communicates effectively, and motivate everyone, even if they are working remotely or in different time zones. So, the challenges and leadership and management. Number 1, talent development and retention. With global competition for skilled workers, leaders must invest in developing talents and creating inclusive workplaces that make employees want to stay. Example, a talented Filipino IT worker might be recruited by a foreign company. To retain them, local leaders should offer career growth and a good working environment. Number 2 is leading change in uncertain environments. Global leaders face constant challenges like economic crisis, wars, and rapid technological changes. Example, during the pandemic, many businesses had to shift to online operations. Leaders had to guide their teams through uncertainty and help them adapt quickly. So number 3, ethical and sustainable leadership. Modern organizations are now expected to be socially and environmentally responsible, not just profitable. Example, companies that use eco-friendly packaging or recycling materials waste are practicing ethical and sustainable leadership. So number 4, remote and hybrid work management. Because of technology, many teams now works remotely or in a hybrid setup across time zones. Example, a team leader in the Philippines might manage members from Japan, the US, and India. They must find ways to communicate well, coordinate tasks, and keep the team connected despite the distance. So, let's differentiate leadership versus management. Leadership focuses on vision and change, defines what to do, long-term vision and strategy, strategic and future-oriented, motivates and inspire. While the management, its focus on stability and execution, implements how to do it, short-term goals and execution, tactical and present-oriented, delegates and directs. So meaning, a leader is a visionary, someone who sets directions and inspire people to achieve it. For example, in 5 years, we'll be the most eco-friendly company in the region, while the manager focuses on planning and organizing how to achieve that goal. For example, here are the steps and schedules we'll follow to reach that goal. So they have schedules or regulations. In short, leaders is to inspire, while managers organize, and both roles are important for an organization's success. Pareho silang importante. So, to summarize, leadership and management in a global context is about a leader's ability to adapt to cultural differences, handle global challenges, and unite people toward a shared vision. Effective global leaders balance leadership and management by being strategic, flexible, and cultural aware, ensuring that the organization thrives in ever-changing international environment. So, yun lang. Thank you for listening.